Hello everyone, this is Crystal with We Are Magic, and this is a little loud. Okay. Welcome back to another podcast episode. I want to give a little announcements. There are a lot of scammers out here right now, impersonating accounts, impersonating people on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I got done that way by a piece of shit scammer. And what they'll do is they'll message you. If you're into mysticism or spirituality, they're like, the ancestors sent me to you and they have a message for you. I would never in my fucking life do that. And all the people I talk to and that are in my circle, they would never do that either. That's ridiculous. Guys, be smart. Don't be just giving your money to people out here. They're getting really, really intelligent with the scamming to the point where they're acting like PayPal and sending me an email of a confirmation that my purchase was approved. It looked like a legit PayPal confirmation email for a margarita mixer, industrial size, for like $500. And of course, I went to a mini panic attack thinking someone like scammed me, or maybe someone hacked into my account. And my son was like, no, that's a scammer, Mom. I said, they literally have my email address. They have my sign-on name on PayPal. They have everything. Like, I was panicking. He said, don't click on it, because if you do, you're going to be messed up. So he was right. I never had an industrial size margarita mixer sent to my address. So I just want to let you know, okay? And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to your sister, because I'm going to be coming out with more and more content. Oh, and look. The merchandise plug, okay? We have the merch, and I'm going to be making more too. I have plans. I'm so excited. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about what Spirit wants us to talk about today. Of course, as a podcast digital creator, I have oodles of, not oodles. I have a lot of content to talk about. And happy Scorpio season to Scorpios. My birthday is on the 25th during the solar eclipse and the new moon. Favored is an understatement. But yeah, super excited about this season because I treat my birthdays now as New Year's. So it's my new year. It's my 47th turn around the sun. And you're like, Crystal, why are you shuffling cards right now? Because you know how I do soul truth awareness. For those of you who don't know me, I do soul truth awareness readings and stuff like that. And I haven't been doing them for a while because I've been doing podcasts. But Spirit led me to do this today. So now I'm splitting. After I shuffle the shit out of these cards, we're going to split them. I'm not even looking. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. And we're going to see what Spirit wants us to talk about. This is effing crazy because I've already shuffled these cards before. Spirit, you heard, for those listening. But YouTube, you've seen how I shuffled those. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This card was out earlier when I shuffled it for myself as like a practice run. So our soul truth awareness and our topic for discussion for this We Are Magic Crystal Talk podcast is, am I letting fear stop me? This is going to be good. This is going to be juicy, okay? Are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? The juicy secret is that you are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable, but it's up to you to see that by taking action. Today's soul action. Today, be brave and do it scared. Choose one fear and move through it. You are in need of a hero. So that is who you will become. We got to stop waiting on saviors, guys. We got to stop this. We got to step up and enjoy Earth School and do the things we're supposed to do while we're here. We're here for a reason. And it's more than being afraid of going to hell, more than being afraid of God. It's more than being afraid of taking a chance, afraid to fail, afraid to look stupid, afraid of trolls, afraid of losing. You've got to try. And this message is for me too. Now, I know I come on here and I show up like, but One, all praise to the Most High and to my higher self for pushing me through this. Shout out to my ancestors and my spirit guides who gave me this idea to start We Are Magic 2 years ago. And they are the reasons why I do what I do. Because I'm a hermit and I am a very sensitive, energetic empath. And the geomagnetic things and shenanigans affect me. Solar flares affect me. Other people's energy really affects me. I can feel when I'm getting like looked at. It's hard to explain. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if y'all go through that. You can tell. Like if you're highly sensitive and you're in tune with energy and spirit or whatever, you feel things. You'll feel when someone's saying something about you. And if you don't feel that, you're like, okay, something's going on and I cannot pinpoint what it is. And I go through that all day where I have to stay grounded. I am constantly grounding myself because it's a lot of energy. And the fear aspect of it overwhelms me. I struggle every week to put out a video. When I used to do tarot readings on YouTube, I wouldn't even show my face. I would only show the cards and my hands because I was so terrified to do this. And it's because of my past and the trauma. It was being bullied, told I was ugly, buck-toothed. Just kids are fuckheads. Kids are fucking evil at times because, they have no filter. They don't give a shit if your feelings are hurt. They think it's funny. It's like on SpongeBob, they make the kids the most meanest individuals. Kids and teenagers on SpongeBob. They do that for a reason. Because they haven't gone through, they may be having a hard life. And I know a lot of these people who are bullies have had a hard life or have a hard life. And they're just projecting onto the targeted individual. But they still haven't went through adulthood yet. You know what I mean? They don't know how to handle their emotions or how to deal with someone that's different than them. It's fun to pick on the quiet kid because believe it or not, I was quiet. I was so shy. I was so shy that the emotion of it crippled me. I hated it. I hated myself. I hated that I could not speak my truth. I hated that I would not stand up for myself when someone would disrespect me, say really horrible things. It's just insane that, what happens to you in your past will carry you onto your future. And me and my first ex-husband were talking about haters. We call them haters now. They're bullies back in the day, but now we call them, we get older, haters. Are you obsessed? Stuff like that. He's dealt with it his entire life. Like, he gets along with everybody. But he's 46. I'm about to be 47 here in 2 more days. And we have people our age still doing it. And that's what I was telling him. I said, I thought once I got older that the hating would stop. I thought people got mature because I was in my 20s back in the day. Like, I cannot wait till I'm like in my 40s and I'm going to deal with this shit. No, they're like this in their 40s. I get hated on by old women. I get hated on by the 20-year-olds. And I get the hate, and it's just that person projecting their bullshit. And that was my biggest fear, was like, I've been bullied my entire life. I don't want to do this older. Like, what? That's not life. That's not how. But that's what stopped me from putting myself out. And I can see the cancel culture, and I can see the trolls, and I see how mean they can be. And I've had trolls pop in my comments, and I just delete their shit. Sometimes I banter back with them or thank them, just being funny, because I'm in that Scorpio weird dark shit mood. But a lot of times I don't want to attract, because everything's energy to me. So once the maggots and the parasites, as I call them, the trolls come in, the trash pandas, the river rats, all the things, they're going to bring in more of that energy and that frequency. So I'm like, okay, I don't want this in my space. So I'll just delete their stinking comment and I'll block them. So that way they got to create another account, start all over. It's not my problem. That's a them problem. Mine's easier. Bloop, delete, block. So simple, crazy. They got to go make a whole email. It's insane. And who wants to do that? Like, are you that fucking miserable that you have to create 1 million accounts just to stay online and be a fucking trash troll. Like, grow up. Ew, those people are gross. And they get older and they don't change. It's amazing. They become even bigger trolls. It just, ooh. But yeah, that was my fear. And just always being told I'm not good enough. And so you bring that fear with you in adulthood, and you feel like you're not good enough and all the things. So that's the fear and the bullshit. That's what I've been dealing with. And so by putting out videos and being a content creator, this is me facing my fear. This is me standing up to my fear. This is me telling my fear, I am your boss. I tell my emotions. I can't keep letting my emotions run my life, because my emotions affect my health in a negative way. So this is where meditation comes in. Another fear, being very open with you, I'm terrified of rats. To the point my oldest son thinks I had a past life experience. I'm terrified of him. And I live in New York City. Picture that. Spirit is funny. And then I'm also terrified of maggots. He thinks it's all past life stuff. He's like, your fear is crazy. Like, you have a problem. I'm like, he's like, Mom, I think they killed you, or I have Crohn's and I have stomach issues. He said they disemboweled you, because I hate seeing people get disemboweled or they talk about it in a movie. I'm like, it just does something to my soul. Like, I watch people get their heads chopped off and everything, but you disembowel somebody in front of me and I'm like, yeah. He said, you were disemboweled, but you didn't die right away. He said, then the rats came and then the maggots came and you experienced all that. And I went, that makes the most sense, Kevin. It makes so much fucking sense. Because I'm just like, oh, can't, like crippling. So that's another fear I have to face. If I can do this, I should be able to see a rat on the street minding his own damn business and me not die, like right there, and have a massive heart attack. This is fucking just perish right there. Like, I just can't. I cannot even, okay? So that's one of my fears. I have other fears, but I've conquered a lot of those because it was just mindset and all this other things. So, what are you afraid of? So, the goal this week with the We Are Magic Tribe, the gangery, my Magi's, my mystics, the mystics, I'm manifesting that I'm going to have a stand group. I'm manifesting the whole group. We're going to be the mystics, a whole bunch of gang shit, but on a mystic level and a transmutation and alchemist level. I would journal. Journaling makes you really go within and you just write out how you feel so you could face whatever it is that you need to transmute or deal with. And I would journal. I would journal out, what am I afraid of? And then you write down what you're afraid of. And then you put out, why am I afraid of this? And then you put the reason why. And then after you put the reason why, you want to change that. Okay? You want to change that mindset. Remember, we're alchemists. We're always transmuting. Again, you're the boss of your reality. So let's just step up into, as source, who you are. You are God, goddess, having a human experience, playing a little game. This is your Netflix original. Like I always said, you are the producer, the writer, director. You're all the things. I mean, this is your season. So you want to write a new program. I literally see us as computers. I see our brains as supercomputers. So you want to uproot the virus or the negative programming or the limiting belief. My limiting belief is rats are going to kill me. So I need to uproot that. And I need to put a positive thing in there. Like, people have pet rats. These are little sentient beings also, just like I am down here just trying to survive. Why do I have this beef with these rats? I got to look at them with love. Okay? I have to look at these rats like how I have changed how I looked at humans, because I used to hate humans. I did. I fucking hated them. That's why I've held off being a life coach. How the hell am I going to help somebody when I can't be around them? Like I said, I'm an empath. I get overloaded. I get sick. I get depressed. I get irritated. It's just something that I've had to work through. So I'm fine now. I'm good now. I had to change that, okay? So I can't look at humans like, I gotta look at them like this is source showing up to me as this person right here. You could be my family member, you can be an acquaintance or a friend, you could be an adversary. I mean, that's how I look at everybody now. Like, oh, this is source showing up as an adversary. How cute. So I'm not going to call in the light for you. I'm not going to make space for you. If you show up as an enemy, you are a divine being showing up as an adversary to me. So you get handled. I mean, period. You can say I'm dark and evil. Thank you. Again, energy, positive, negative, light matter, dark matter. It's all the same in the universe. It's just, there's no good and bad in the universe. That's human shit. We made it up through religion. So, and that's another thing, fear. A lot of us fear disappointing people or disappointing God or disappointing your family. And again, these are all limiting beliefs. The main person you want to show up for is you. And I know they told us it was selfish. I know they said if you love yourself, it's conceited and it's trash. And those are lies. It's programming that the elite and the religious, I know the religious community and the government act like they are separate, but they're all in cahoots to keep us here. Tunnel vision. Go to work, pay your taxes, feed the machine. Go to work, pay your taxes, feed the machine. Who's the machine? Them. Like I said, this isn't Maya. This is not Maya's doing. Maya, the goddess, when you are put into an amnesia state when you come here, is so you can learn to be a human and have a human experience on Earth. Now, when you're young, you still you're a god and a goddess. You come straight down here fresh. And that's why the kids are so smart. And sometimes they remember their past lives. And they say very old things that a child should not know. They're fresh. But the longer they're here in the matrix system, they lose that. They lose their self because they're programmed to feed a machine. Some people are programmed to go to college and further their career. Other people are programmed to hate college, like I was. I was picked on by teachers, not kids in elementary. The bullying came from the boys at junior high or middle school, as they call it now. But in elementary school, I was bullied by educators. So I said the matrix knows who you are. They know who you are. And like I said, everything's energy and everything's set up. And this is just a Sims game. And you're a character. So with that being said, your higher self, the future you, the past you, the ascendant you, all the yous, your super being power is guiding you. And you have to embody that essence of who you truly are, because that is the best version of you. It's the best possible version of you. That person knows exactly where you're headed, where you're going. That's who's guiding you. That's who's talking to you. That's who's telling you to make the right decisions. And they don't want us to have that. They want us to believe there's a heaven and a hell. There's a God and a devil. It's always division. There's always there's always banter. There's always negativity. There's always, I'm better. My God can kick your God's ass. It's so fucking gross. And by doing that, and they've been doing this to us since we were little, very tiny, fear and programming and limitations are in us. So it puts us in a state of this. We're afraid. Like I said in the other podcast with the public education system, well, even in the collegiate level, they put so much on students. And to the point, they really push the failure bullshit. If you fail, you just, oh my God, it's all over. So going through that from kindergarten all the way up to fucking graduate school, it puts you in a state of programming limited belief to be afraid to fail. So if you're afraid to fail, a lot of us are afraid to take chances because of this limiting belief in the back of our subconscious mind that affects our conscious mind. So that's why I'm always saying, and I'm not going to fucking stop, and I don't care if you're annoyed about it, reprogram that beautiful supercomputer they call a brain in your head, and you will become limitless. Don't believe me? There's plenty of books and research out here. And the goal is not to have power over anybody. This is why they don't want us to have it. They are afraid if we knew how powerful we truly were, that we'd fuck this shit up. Oh, they're terrified. So the goal, fuck them. Okay, ew. Because it's funny, they get to do all the things. And be the alchemists and the controllers and push karma and dharma all over us, yet they do horrible stuff. But all I'm saying is, if we focus on healing ourselves, just you, don't say, well, my husband or my woman or my girlfriend or my kid. Okay, no. Focus on you. Because if you focus on you and work on what's best for you and how to heal you so you can get through all those limiting beliefs, you can see the parts you played when you start mirroring and looking at other people, and look back on your past to honor it so you can heal yourself, not as a victim, but to look back on your past and like, damn, I'm a lot stronger than I realized. I went through that shit and I'm still here. So I said, I was afraid, and in a sense I still am. I'm being very vulnerable with you. I was afraid to be in a relationship ever again, a romantic one, because of my past relationships. The last relationship I was in that relationship for 11 years, legally. 12 years, really, because I didn't date anybody after him. So I was still devoted to him in a sense. I was still his, okay? I imprisoned myself like we see in Tarot, the Eight of Swords. That was me. I imprisoned myself. It's just sad. And it put me in Nine of Swords where I was stressed out, in my head. And I was afraid to move on. I was afraid to be in a relationship. So then I would use excuses. Okay, I'm going to do shadow work. I'm going to do all the things to heal myself. Go within. See where I fucked up in every relationship. And I did. I looked at and the biggest problem with me, I was codependent. You know where that shit comes from. Childhood trauma. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, whack. Okay. So I went back to my subconscious mind with my little inner child. I don't call her my wounded child anymore. She's a badass. Okay. Me, the shadow, the inner child, all the things. We like this now. We're homies. Because they're all you. They're all versions. They're all you. Okay. There's nobody outside of you. Your shadow is not a demon. It's you. It's your inner child that's been taking all your bullshit and has built this very negative energy that's trying to protect you. You can call it ego, whatever. But to me, an ego is the character that you came down here to play. All right. Because remember I said you are a divine being. You're a source creator. You have a higher self, which is another beautiful energy of you. You have several aspects of yourself, but I always call a main one. Your higher self is always, I'm getting hot. I'm giving you the downloads and always talking to you and guiding you. And it's your best fucking friend. That's you. That is you. All these energies are you. You just pushed out. Okay. And when I realized that, I was like, oh no. So it was a good thing. All my friends were worried about me. My family, they're like, Crystal, you've always been in a relationship. And I was like, never again. I don't want to be in a relationship anymore, because I don't ever want to put myself in a place where someone makes me feel like I'm not good enough anymore. And I was just on a date this weekend with a very beautiful, ascended, divine, masculine man. Whoo, yeah. And he asked us, he was like, why are you single? Why are you not in a relationship? And I told him, I was like, I'm terrified of relationships. I said, I got so bad when I finally, after my divorce, my last one, again, I have two ex-husbands. I'm marriageable. They love marrying me. I'm telling you, it's the toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? So he asked me why I was single. And I said, I found out when I stayed to myself. I didn't get back any relationships. I didn't mess around. I didn't hunt for them. I found out that I was happier by myself. I said I had peace. There was no drama. There was no arguing. I was happier alone. And I told him, I said, I've been in relationships my entire life. My entire life. I have been in relationships. From the time I left home at 17 years old, I have been in relationships. And I said for the first time, I was okay and comfortable with being by myself. And I was happier by myself. And it made him sad because he was like, it sounds like it was really toxic. Yes, they were very toxic. Me having Crohn's disease and the ostomy bag. I've had relationships where my ex-boyfriend did this to me. He was standing in front of me and he pointed at my stomach and he went, ew, to my stomach where my ostomy bag was. Just him doing that. Now, of course, I cussed him out, but it just takes a seed. It takes a plant, and that's what he did. These are what narcissists do. So I've had men in my life that made me feel less than. So when I went into hermit mode and did the deep healing and the inner work, I realized I don't need to be in a relationship. And I know spiritual people are like, no, that's not, you must find your twin flame. Shut the fuck up with that shit. You know how many people you've destroyed pushing that fucking shit? Because, they found their twin flame, and then they're supposed to come together and save the collective, and then they break up, and then you know what you say now? Oh, that was a karmic. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't do that. If you want to know what your twin flame is, for one, there's several. There's not one, because you're limiting source, you're limiting creator, you're limiting the Most High. Like, quit it. It's so egoic. It's so ego, not even spiritual. It's purely human bullshit to act like you're the only Kali Ma and this person's the only Shiva and you're going to come together and save humanity. It's the most egoic bullshit ever. How about you save your fucking self? And that's what I had to learn, because I was into that twin flame shit. And my ex-husband, I thought that was my twin flame because he exhibits the twin flame narrative, Polar fucking opposites, but still drawn. You're drawn to them, okay? And if anything, you want to run into plenty of twin flames in your life. And these twin flames are going to trigger the fuck out of you. And supposedly that's the whole goal. But it's not for you to hate them. It's for you to look at yourself and see what you need to work on. And that is it. There's a runner and there's a chaser. Don't fall for that narrative. If you're being mistreated, fuck off. Don't hold space. Don't call in the light for these people. Remember, everybody's source. Okay? So they're coming up as an adversary to you as source creator. That person chose to be an adversary. Block them. Don't do that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I waited around for 2 years by myself and just longed for my ex-husband, because that was my Shiva. He's not my Shiva, because my Shiva would never treat me that way. My Shiva wouldn't lie on me. My Shiva wouldn't hurt me. And that's the thing, like, in all relationships, you have to honor your fucking self, because once you learn to love yourself, you will love people properly. And you'll know how to be loved properly. So that's my fears. That's the fears I've been dealing with. So I was afraid of relationships. I was afraid of love. I was afraid of putting myself back out there. And it's like the universe said, okay, honey, you've been in the void long enough. You've been resting long enough. And they kicked me out. And he drops into my lap this beautiful, evolved, divine being who scares the shit out of me. But I'm not going to run away from him. And I'm not going to push him away. And I'm not going to make excuses as to why I can't be with him, because that's not ascension now, is it? That's fear. So I can do this. If I can show up and be vulnerable and be authentic, and I'm like real authentic, like I'm not perfect. I'm not acting like I got it all together. No, I'm coming to you just like all of us are. We all struggle with things. If I can do this, and trust me, this is very, very hard for me. And I know I show up like I don't. Like, there's no way, Crystal, you're so powerful. You're so brave. Terrified. In my head. I'm like, oh, they're not going to like this video. They're not, just literally cursing all of my progress and my hard work and my manifestation, just canceling everything out. If I can fight through all of that stuff, and if you can survive the things that you've survived that got you to where you are today, you could bust through this fear problem. I know you can, baby. All right. That is my video. I love you. Oh, and my podcast. Sorry, I just be acting like it's just YouTube, but they listening. They listening on Spotify. They listening on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. They're listening on They're listening on iHeartRadio. I'm out here. Anchor. All the things. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow a sister. Follow me on all platforms. WeAreMagick.com. We are Magick with a K. I love you. Remember, we are Magick. We are one. Have a good one.